Hi, welcome back to Zack of All Trades. I'm Zack. Have you ever actually roasted chestnuts on an open fire? I had not ever roasted chestnuts, and so as I drove into town, listening to the Christmas station on the radio, Bing Crosby or some such crooner, singing about chestnuts poppin', pop, pop. It piqued my curiosity. And so I called around and I found a local place that sold fresh, imported chestnuts. I bought a pound of them and brought them home. Let me show you what I learned. First things first, it seems that chestnuts are highly perishable and prone to molding if they're not refrigerated properly in transport and in the grocery store. So how do you determine whether they're moldy or not? Well, what I read is that you put them in water. The moldy ones are most likely to float, and the non-moldy ones are most likely to sink. Now, I actually tried this out on a trial run last night. I roasted a handful of them in the oven, and it was absolutely true. Each one of them that floated was moldy. The ones that sunk were good. I was a little bit dismayed with the fact that I dumped them into the water. The ones last night, I dumped them into the water, and out of a pound, I think about 8 or 10 of them sunk to the bottom. So 8 or 10 of those ones were good. So we're going to get started. We'll dump them in the water and see what we've got. All right, here we go. Is it going to be sad or happy? Oh, that's sad. So, out of a half pound, how many have we got that actually sunk? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of them out of a half pound actually sunk. I'm not even going to waste my time roasting the other ones. Just for grins, I'm going to cut open one of these ones that floated and see if we can see the mold right off the bat. Supposedly the problem with this whole thing is that you can't tell if they're moldy until you open them unless you do this float test. We'll see if we can see it here without cutting my finger off. Oh, that's sad. I just got this one open because it was a floater and it did not have any mold in it. Oh man, how did I do? I guess maybe I'll just cook them all. Man. Okay, so the final score is 7-13. There are 7 that sunk. I said 8 a minute ago, but one of them floated to the top. So there's 7 of them that sunk. There are 13 of them that did not sink. I'm just going to go ahead and roast them all and see if those numbers bear out and just examine them before I eat all of them, or my family eats all of them. The next thing we want to do is we want to let them soak in the water for about a minute. Supposedly that does something to the hull that makes them do their thing better. Now that they've been soaking for a minute, the next thing you want to do is cut them. Now, I read about 3 different methods of cutting them. Some say to make an X on the rounded side of them. Man, this is not the knife for doing this. Or they make an X on the rounded top side. You see how they're kind of shaped like a beetle? Make an X that you can't really see on the top side of them. Or the other one that I found that I kind of liked was they called it the clamshell. And if you're looking at it like a beetle, you want to cut it around, kind of around the bottom flat part of it. And I did this last night with the tester ones, and it seemed to work pretty well. The idea behind cutting them open is that they are the thing that cooks them, or while they're cooking, they make a bunch of steam. And these hulls are supposedly pretty well airtight. So you run the risk, if you don't cut them open, you run the risk of them exploding. I tried it last night. 2 of them that I did not cut holes in at all. I was looking for something spectacular. They didn't explode whatsoever. So, I don't know. The fact that last night I had a lid over the pan, and tonight I'm just doing it without a lid. I'm going to be a chicken, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them all and see how it works out. Now my open fire has been burning down to a nice hot bed of coals while I was doing all that. So now that I've got them all cut, I'll go ahead and put them on in there on my nice coals for 10 or 15 minutes. Alright, so these guys have been cooking about 15 minutes now, and they say that you're supposed to peel them quickly while they're still warm, because if they cool, then the shell, I don't know, sticks back onto the nut and you never get them off. So I'm not entirely sure what's the best way to do this, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out one by one and peel them and drop them into my little bowl here and see what we come up with. Oh, it's beautiful and it's steaming. I'm gonna eat this one. We're gonna count this as one into the not moldy pile. Yum. One moldy. Man, I love learning new things. So it turns out that that floating test is not necessarily the end-all be-all, because although I had 13 that floated and 7 that sunk, I have gotten, well, 4. There have been 4 that actually had mold on them, and it was very, very clear, very obvious mold on them. And the rest of them, 16 of them, were not moldy. So I'm going to take these on inside and dish them out to the wife and kids. I might eat a couple before I go in there. But yeah, we're going to enjoy these. And I've got another ½ pound that we're going to try out maybe tomorrow. Or maybe we'll try a different method. We'll try maybe steaming them or doing them some other way. I'm clearly a complete newbie at this. So if there are those of you who live either on the East Coast, where evidently this is more of a thing, or I gather that in France and Italy it's a big deal. So if you guys are out there and can point out the things that I'm clearly doing wrong, or the best ways to, to eat that other ½ pound that I've got, please let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing hearing your input on this. Please don't flame me too bad for the things that I've done wrong. I'm sure that there are some of them. So I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you're still here. I hope you're still here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon. Take care.